So recently I caught up with an old friend and she was telling me that she got divorced, and I was so surprised because her and her husband were such a cute couple and they had been together for 11 years. So I asked her, like, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. Like, my husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids and I just got lonely and bored. And she says that when she would bring it up, like, he would take her out, but it was just boring to her. Like, she needed some excitement in her life. She just felt like she was just a mom and a wife, and her husband just wasn't doing that for her. And she had other friends that had, you know, boyfriends, or like they had just got married, and they were always going out, always going on vacation, always partying, like going to the club, going to the bar, hanging out with friends, and they did none of that. And when she would bring it up to her husband would always tell her, like, I gotta work. Like, you know, they had a big house, they had nice things, like, he was just trying to work. So they ended up getting divorced, and now, you know, she's single, she lives alone, she's working, and she's dating. So then I told her, oh, well, that must be exciting, like dating and stuff. And she's like, no, I fucking hate it. And I was like, why? And she's like, because all they want to do is just have fun. They just want to go to the club, they just want to go to the bar, they just want to hang out, have a good time, and then that's it. She said, no one wants to help me out. Like, I'm trying to find someone that's going to help take care of my kids. She's like, I just want someone to be a provider, not just a good time. So I was all like, well, wasn't that what your husband was doing? And she's like, I know. And I guess now her ex-husband is dating someone, like, seriously.
Let's talk about the most expensive emotion in the 21st century, female boredom. We've officially reached a point in the timeline where a stable, providing husband, a beautiful home, and 3 healthy kids are considered toxic because they don't provide the same dopamine hit as a Sunday brunch in Tulum. We are watching a generation of women burn down their own palaces because they didn't like the color of the drapes, only to stand in the rain outside and complain that the clouds are being unsupportive. The story we just heard is the final boss of modern dating delusion. This woman had the provider prize. Her husband was working his tail off, literally building the infrastructure of her life, and her complaint was that he wasn't a professional party planner. She saw her single friends on Instagram posting pictures at the club, smelling like Casamigos and regret, and she thought, I'm missing out on that. She mistook stability for stagnation. She saw the peace her husband provided and misdiagnosed it as boredom. The reality check: peace is expensive. Stability is a luxury. But in the era of main character syndrome, if a man isn't constantly performing like a circus monkey to keep you entertained, he's suddenly not meeting your needs. She divorced a man for being a provider, only to enter the dating market and get angry because men refuse to provide. You cannot make this up. She left a man who was too busy working and is now shocked that the guys at the bar, the ones who have nothing but free time, also have nothing but empty pockets and no intention of raising her 3 kids. If you're enjoying this reality check, do yourself a favor, smash that like button and subscribe. We're out here providing the logic that your yes girl friends won't give you. Don't be like our friend in the story. Don't wait until you're single and 35 to realize you actually liked what we had going on here. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next dose of truth. The most hilarious part of this tragedy: the ex-husband moved on in record time. And who did he choose? A woman with 2 kids who actually appreciates a provider. Our bored protagonist is furious. How could he take on someone else's kids? She asks. The answer is simple. Men don't leave families, they leave headaches. He didn't move on too fast. He just found a market that valued his currency. He was a provider stock that she sold at an all-time low because she wanted to buy excitement crypto. Now his value has tripled with a new investor, and she's sitting on a pile of boredom receipts. She's mad because she's seeing the beta version of her life being lived by another woman who didn't have to do the 11-year build phase.
They have been divorced for a total of 3 years, and he has been dating this girl for 2 years. She has 2 kids, and they're already living together. She says that he's fully taking care of her. Like, the girl doesn't work, she's a stay-at-home mom. They haven't had any new kids, but they're planning on having kids. And she's pissed because she's like, how can he move on so fast? Like, you know, I can't even find nobody, and he just found someone so quick, and he didn't even want to give us another try, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was so confused because I was like, okay, so you divorced him because he was always working and you were bored. So now you're single, going out, having a good time, dating, but you don't like that. Now you want provider. And your ex-husband, all he wanted to do was be a provider. That's why now he is dating someone who he has no problem providing for her and her kids. And she's pissed because she's like, why would he go and find someone who has kids? Like, he already has kids. Why would he want to take on that responsibility? And I'm like, wait, aren't you looking for someone to take on that responsibility? I was just giving her a hard time, not gonna lie, because it was kind of funny to me, because I was like, I could tell that she regretted her decision. I could tell. And I've seen a lot of people do shit like this, where they get divorced for reasons that are not, I'm not gonna say they're not valid, because everybody's feelings are valid, but they're fixable problems. Like, I don't know if you guys have this wrong idea of marriage that is supposed to be like fun and happy all the time. It's not. I feel like every relationship literally depends on compromise. Like, you gotta compromise something. You cannot have everything. And to be honest with you, like, if she was willing to give up on him that quick, like, maybe she just didn't love him that much. Because I cannot even imagine just me being like, oh, I'm bored, I'm gonna divorce my husband, you know? Like, no, you figure it out, you work it out. But I could tell that she's regretting it, because what she thought she wanted is not what she thought she wanted.
But here's the cold, hard logic. If you treat a man's hard work as a nuisance, don't be surprised when he gives the fruits of that labor to someone who treats it like a blessing. Modern dating culture has convinced many women that they have unlimited time. There is this radical feminist narrative that says, don't settle. If he doesn't make you feel like a princess every second, leave. But they forgot to mention the fine print. The dating market has an expiration date on entitlement. At 22, you can demand the moon and someone might try to grab it. At 35 with 3 kids, you are no longer the prize in a market full of 22-year-olds with zero baggage. She's now realizing that the excitement she craved, the clubs, the bars, the vacations, is a commodity sold by men who have no interest in providing. The guys at the club want a good time, not a good life. She traded a husband for a hookup culture and is trying to apply husband requirements to hookup candidates. It's like going to a McDonald's and being outraged they don't serve filet mignon. You're in the wrong establishment, sis. Notice the language she uses. No one wants to help me out. I want someone to be a provider. Wait, didn't you just fire the CEO of providing? This is the peak of the modern double standard. Women want the independent woman badge when they want to leave a marriage, but they want the traditional provider benefits the moment the bills hit the mailbox. You cannot apply radical feminist logic to your exit strategy and then expect traditional masculine protection for your landing. If you are bored of a man who provides, you have forfeited the right to complain about men who don't. As the narrator in the video rightly said, these were fixable problems. If you're bored in an 11-year marriage with 3 kids, you don't get a divorce. You get a hobby. You get a babysitter. You communicate. But we live in a disposable culture. We've been told that if something doesn't spark joy like a Marie Kondo closet, we should toss it. The problem is, you can't Marie Kondo a human being who has spent a decade building a life for you. She didn't want a better life. She wanted a different life. And now that she has it, she realizes the different life is actually just a lonelier life. The reason the husband found someone so fast is that a good provider is the rarest Pokemon in the dating world. When he hit the market, he didn't have to find anyone, he just had to exist. Meanwhile, she is realizing that her stock has been diluted. She's competing with younger women who haven't yet been bored by stability. She's competing with women who understand that a man who works all day to provide a big house and nice things isn't boring, he's heroic. The ultimate punchline. The irony is so thick you could cut it with a divorce decree. She left because he worked too much. Now she has to work because he's gone. She left because she wanted excitement. Now she hates the excitement of dating. She's mad he's taking care of another woman's kids, while she's looking for a man to take care of hers. This isn't a tragedy, it's a comedy of errors. It's the result of thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, without realizing the grass is only green where you water it. She stopped watering her own lawn because she was too busy looking at the neon lights of the city, and now she's surprised her yard is dirt and the city is cold. To the women watching this, accountability is the best moisturizer. If you have a man who is loyal, provides, and loves your children, but you feel lonely because he's building your future, try talking to him instead of talking to a divorce lawyer. The single life isn't a Sex and the City episode. It's a ruthless, hyper-competitive market where your boredom is a liability, not an asset. Don't throw away a kingdom because you wanted to see what it was like to be a peasant for a weekend. Because at the end of the day, your ex-husband isn't moving on too fast. He's just being appreciated by someone who knows what you were too bored to see. What do you guys think? Is boredom a valid reason to blow up an 11-year marriage? Or is this the ultimate case of fing around and finding out? Let me know in the comments below.